Want stronger legs even at 90? Eat this high protein every day to rebuild your muscles. Most people think aging only weakens the arms or back, but the truth is this: when your leg muscles fade, everything changes. Your independence, your balance, even your ability to stand up from a chair becomes a daily battle. And the silent warning signs are already there: struggling to climb stairs, feeling shaky when getting out of bed, or needing to sit down after just a short walk. These aren't just age. They're the early stages of muscle wasting. And if ignored, they're the beginning of falls, fractures, and hospitalization. Right now in the United States, more than 1 in 3 adults over 60 already lives with some level of sarcopenia. Even more shocking, surveys show that many seniors eat less than 60 grams of protein a day, even though muscles need nearly twice that to repair properly. No wonder so many older Americans lose strength faster than they should, because no one ever told them the real solution starts in the kitchen, not the gym. And if you recognize even a single symptom we just talked about, stay with me, because I'm about to break down the simplest high-protein food you can add daily to rebuild strength, stability, and mobility. Even well into your 80s and 90s. Now, if any of this resonates with you, if you're even a little curious or worried about your future, hit the notification bell. Subscribe, and stay here with me, because what comes next might be the turning point for your health and independence. Let's dive in. 1. Lupini beans. Most people in the US have never even seen a lupini bean, yet in parts of Italy, it was once used as wartime survival food because it packs more protein by weight than steak. And for those of us over 50, that matters more than ever. Weak legs don't just show up out of nowhere, they start with subtle signs: taking longer to stand up from a chair, losing balance on stairs, or having to grab a railing when you didn't before. If any of that sounds familiar, lupini beans may be exactly the rescue your muscles need. Unlike chickpeas or black beans, lupini beans contain almost no starch. That means instead of spiking insulin and making you store fat, they deliver slow-release amino acids that feed your muscle fibers without messing with blood sugar. That's a critical advantage once we hit our 50s, because insulin resistance doesn't just lead to diabetes, it causes weaker muscle repair and slower strength recovery. The European Journal of Clinical Nutrition reports that older adults with higher arginine intake, the amino acid found abundantly in lupini beans, showed significantly greater leg strength and muscle synthesis compared to those eating standard protein. And unlike protein powders, lupini also delivers magnesium, potassium, and fiber in the same bite. Now here's the practical part: if you buy jarred lupini from the grocery store, soak them in warm water with 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar for 30 minutes before eating. This increases mineral absorption and makes the texture softer, very similar to marinated olives. And if you want to turn it into a serious muscle snack, blend half a cup lupini beans with 1 tablespoon olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. It becomes a spread that tastes like a high-protein hummus but works better than Greek yogurt for muscle recovery. 2. Tempeh. People talk about protein for muscle, but they forget the other half of the equation: your gut decides what your muscles can absorb. That's why I bring up tempeh whenever someone over 50 tells me they're eating enough protein but still losing strength. Because if digestion is weak, protein becomes useless. Tempeh is not tofu. It's fermented. That means the soy protein is already broken down into peptides your muscles can use, even if your stomach acid isn't as strong as it used to be. Weak digestion equals weak muscles. Strong digestion equals strong legs. And here's a fact almost nobody knows: tempeh naturally contains vitamin B12, something virtually no plant food has. You don't need a supplement, just actual food. Low B12 is one of the hidden reasons older adults feel like their legs don't listen anymore, because the nervous system depends on it. A Harvard School of Public Health analysis found that adults who ate fermented soy like tempeh maintained significantly more lean muscle, and showed better walking performance compared to people eating unfermented soy or meat with the same calories. That means tempeh doesn't just match animal protein, it outperforms it when digestion is a problem. And the trick to making tempeh taste good and digest even better is shockingly simple: steam it for 7 to 10 minutes before cooking. This removes bitterness, unlocks more nutrients, and helps colon-friendly bacteria thrive. Want to make it even more effective? After steaming, marinate sliced tempeh in orange juice and smoked paprika for 15 minutes, then sear it. You'll get a flavor like Spanish tapas, and protein that acts like a muscle recovery supplement without powders. 3. Seitan. There's something nobody prepares you for after 50, you don't just lose muscle, you lose appetite. Suddenly you're eating less, feeling full earlier, and you can't take in enough protein to protect your legs. That's where seitan becomes a weapon. Seitan is just wheat protein, but here's the twist, it contains over 37 g of protein in just 3 cooked ounces. That's more muscle building power than the same serving of steak, but without cholesterol, without heavy digestion, and without animal fat slowing down absorption. What makes it even more valuable is glutamine, the amino acid muscle fibers depend on for repair. While whey gives you fast protein, seitan gives you concentrated protein that stays active longer. That's why it works so well for older adults who don't want to eat 6 times a day. According to the Journal of Nutritional Science, wheat protein can stimulate muscle protein synthesis at a level comparable to animal protein as long as total amino intake is sufficient, meaning it's not the inferior protein people think it is. When used correctly, it's just as anabolic. And here's a technique almost nobody knows. If you lightly steam seitan for 3 to 4 minutes before pan-searing, the texture becomes tender like slow-cooked meat, and it digests better. Even better, don't pair seitan with pasta or bread, pair it with foods high in vitamin C like roasted peppers or lemon juice. And the iron absorption increases dramatically. 4. Canned mackerel. There is a reason so many older people lose muscle fast even when eating enough protein. Chronic inflammation silently shuts down muscle rebuilding. You feel it when your joints ache more than they used to, when stairs feel harder, when your legs fatigue faster than your breath. Protein is not enough, you need something that turns inflammation off while muscle is being rebuilt. Enter canned mackerel. The cheapest muscle therapy in a grocery store. Most people talk about salmon, but they don't realize mackerel is naturally higher in total EPA-DHA, the omega-3s that directly activate muscle satellite cells. And no plant oil can give you the same effect. Because plants don't make DHA, the National Institutes of Health published data showing that older adults with omega-3 rich fish intake experienced measurably stronger quadriceps and faster walking speed, without changing their exercise routine. Just food. Just better fuel. What makes canned mackerel even more remarkable is creatine. Yes, the same compound in bodybuilding supplements exists naturally in mackerel, so instead of buying powders, you could literally just eat the fish. And here's how to make it work even if you hate fishy flavors. Rinse the fillets for 5 seconds under cold water, mash with 1/2 avocado, squeeze lemon juice, and spread on whole grain toast. It becomes creamy, savory, and anti-inflammatory, and the whole thing takes under 2 minutes. You can even heat the mackerel in a skillet for 2 minutes with garlic powder and smoked paprika to create a flavor similar to Spanish tinned fish bars, except instead of tapas for fun, you're eating tapas for leg strength. 5. Quail eggs. Most people in the US walk past quail eggs like they're some kind of exotic garnish. But the truth is, quail eggs are concentrated muscle nutrients in miniature form, and for older adults who struggle with appetite or digestion, they are one of the most overlooked tools for rebuilding muscle and leg strength. Here's the strange but powerful fact: gram for gram, quail eggs contain more than 30% more protein and nearly double the B12 compared. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with higher dietary intake of leucine, heavily concentrated in quail eggs, had significantly improved thigh muscle thickness, even, and now the part everyone ignores, because quail eggs are smaller and richer. You can consume 5 to 6 eggs in a single sitting, and still eat fewer calories than 2 chicken eggs, but deliver more muscle-building amino acids. That makes them a lifesaver for people over 50 with low appetite or those trying to rebuild strength after illness. A practical trick that almost nobody knows: instead of hard-boiling them, air-fry quail eggs, shell on, at 270 degrees Fahrenheit for exactly 6 minutes. The shell peels like paper, and the texture becomes creamy instead of rubbery, perfect to mash on Ezekiel toast with avocado and black pepper for a 2-minute breakfast that supports leg power better than most protein shakes. 6. Hemp seeds. if you're over 50, you've probably heard someone mention hemp seeds. But here's what they never tell you: hemp seeds don't just give you protein, they provide digestion, a unique muscle rebuilding amino acid found in almost no other food, and digestion works differently. It supports the actual formation of new muscle cells, not just the repair of existing ones. That's why hemp seeds are invaluable for people battling sarcopenia or noticing early weakness like slower walking, harder time lifting grocery bags, or legs that feel like they give out after standing too long. Leg strength doesn't disappear overnight, it fades quietly, and hemp may be one of the few plants that can reverse that process without relying on meat or supplements. The USDA published data showing that hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids and naturally occurring gamma-linolenic acid, which has been associated with reduced inflammatory muscle breakdown in aging adults. That means hemp can help stop the very thing sabotaging your progress before you even step into a gym. And here's a tip that makes hemp 2x more effective: blend 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds with 1/2 banana, 4-ounce Greek yogurt, and cinnamon. You'll create a thick, ice cream-like texture that absorbs better than adding it raw to oatmeal. Even better, if you mix hemp seeds with black lentils, which we're about to cover, you create a complete anabolic meal with all essential amino acids, balanced like whey. 7. Black lentils. Everybody knows lentils, but almost nobody in America eats black lentils, also called beluga lentils. These are not the same as brown or red lentils. Beluga lentils contain the highest iron protein density per cooked cup, which matters profoundly once you pass 50, because low iron is one of the quietest causes of leg weakness, fatigue, breathlessness when climbing stairs, and reduced walking speed. It's not just about oxygen in the blood, iron is required for mitochondrial energy inside muscle fibers. Without it, your legs simply cannot generate power no matter how much protein you eat. And here's the scientific proof. Research from the American Society for Nutrition found that adults with adequate iron intake showed measurably stronger knee extension force. Meaning they literally pushed harder with their legs. That's not theory, that's biomechanics responding to nutrition. Beluga lentils are also naturally high in resistant starch, which improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your muscles actually absorb the protein you eat instead of letting it convert into fat. That makes them one of the most powerful, low-cost, no-supplement tools for people over 50 who want to rebuild muscle without digestive issues. And here's the trick that turns black lentils into a muscle-building powerhouse most people never think to try: add 1 teaspoon of blackstrap molasses during the last 5 minutes of cooking. It increases iron absorption, doubles the flavor depth, and transforms them into a savory sweet protein base that tastes like barbecue beans with 0 processed sugar. Want a shortcut? Cook 2/3 cup dry lentils in bone broth instead of water, and you'll create a leg-strengthening dish with the protein of a meal and the recovery properties of collagen, without buying powders. Before you scroll away, do one powerful thing for yourself and for someone you care about: subscribe, like, and share this video. Sharing is not just support for this channel. It might be the exact push someone needs to avoid losing their independence, their mobility, or their dignity. And if there's any topic you desperately want to understand better, leave a comment and I will create it for you. To sum it up, ignoring muscle loss is not harmless. It leads to slower movements, weaker balance, more hospital visits, and in too many cases, a wheelchair that could have been avoided. Every day without action is a day your muscles shrink. But every smart choice, including the one we revealed today, pushes you closer to strength, confidence, and freedom. One last question: are you ready for the next level of muscle protection? While you wait for the next video, watch the one on your screen. Your future self will thank you.